I've always been the realest. I've always been the realest. I've always been that nigga everybody come to when they needed something done. I've always been the realest. Never lied to a motherfucker, no boy, I always had to tell the truth. I've always been the realest. Niggas always got their hand down when they needed help, yeah, I was around. I've always been the realest. I've always made sure everybody was good, but I always had to stay 10 toes down. I've always been the realest. I was always there when everybody needed help, but where the fuck is my help? I've always been the realest. Every time I turn around, everybody wanna smile on my face cause they know I'm paid. I've always been the realest. You talking about a real one. I don't wanna be that nigga no more, yeah, fuck them. Every time I turn around, being the real one always leave you broken, desperate, I don't know what's going on. I've always been the realest, I don't know what's going on. I've always made sure everybody was good when it was time. I've always been the realest. I've always been there when everybody needed me the most. Where my motherfucking love at? I've always been the realest. Everybody know that I ain't the one to fuck with. I always had to show and prove. I've always been the realest. I've always been the one to make sure that bitches stay have money in their pocket. I've always been the realest. I don't wanna be that real no more. I'ma make sure that I take this lesson as a lesson learned. Never be the realest motherfucker that they need the most. Once you can help them that one time, yeah, they always going ghost. I don't give a fuck about being real no more. Fuck that shit. You can take it, shove it up your ass, and you sucked it. I don't give a fuck about being real no more, nigga, yeah. I'ma make sure that you understand I'm not the one for ya. I've always been the realest. Every day somebody always had their hand out with a bill coming my way. I've always been the realest. I've always gotten families out of jails, but they always seem to never reciprocate. Always been the realest. I never gave a fuck about it, cause I was helping our friends and family all the time. I've always been the realest. Ain't nobody seen my fucking problems or struggles, because I always stay 10 toes down. I've always been the realest. I've been the only motherfucker there with money paying for them bitches. I've always been the realest. These motherfuckers love it when I come around because they know my heart is full of gold. I've always been the realest. Always been that motherfucker when they needed something and I never said no. I've always been the realest.